This is going to be a very interesting analysis, and I think a lot of people's minds are going to open after this. Because the ANC, we all know, is still trying to make us believe in their delusions that somehow they are still in power because they have majority of ministries in the GNU. But when you want to compare the ANC's ministries compared to the DA, it seems like the DA has more power than the ANC. The DA's ministries are the ones in charge of the future of education. They have the Ministry of Basic Education. They have agriculture. They are in charge of the food and the environment. They have the Ministry of public works and infrastructure. So they get to be in charge of if jobs get to happen or not, if things get to be built or not, things like bridges and that. But today I want to speak about one most underrated ministry the DA has, the Ministry of Forestry, Fishery and Environment. That ministry is so powerful. I was doing research about it. I found out that that ministry is the one responsible for managing and protecting the environment of South Africa. Not only that, it's also responsible for protecting and managing the natural resources of South Africa's environment, South Africa's land. If you don't believe me, go to Google, AI search, go anywhere you can ever want to go. You'll find out this information for yourself. So, this ministry is so powerful, and it's going to be more powerful into the future we are going to step into, because the president of the ANC, Mr. Cyril Ramaphosa, recently signed the climate change bill into law. And when you check that bill, let me say allegedly, when you check that bill of the climate change law, it says that if there happen to be a pandemic that is caused by climate change, the only ministry that is going to be responsible for regulating the environment and deciding how the environment gets to be conducted and gets to, like, the society gets to function is the Ministry of Forestry, Fishery and Environment, because they take care of the environment, atmosphere, the trees and all those things. That ministry, if there happen to be a climate change pandemic, the DA is going to be the one calling the shots. The DA is going to call the shots. And some are already alleging that since the World Economic Forum wants to be so much in power, and the DA seems to be a neoliberal type of politics, or their policies are neoliberal. Liberal policies. If you want to see the future, if the DA has power, look at what is happening in the United States. That is what's going to be happening here. There's going to be too much of gayism, too much of those things popularized, going to be taught even in schools. And now, since they have the basic education, they might create bills to teach LGBTQ in school, primary basic education. Allegedly. It's just in my opinion. And if they want to have so much power and they don't want people to speak against their government, since they are also in charge of the digital security, they are going to be the ones to manage what people get to say online, what type of content gets to be banned, what type of things people are not allowed to speak about online, because that's also their department. Online security and all those things of cyber is in the DA. And some are also alleging and some are saying that since the DA also has agriculture, they are going to be the ones regulating the prices of the veggies, the fruit. They are going to be the ones regulating the meat prices. They are the ones going to be regulating, those things of agriculture, right? Because the DA has that minister. They are going to be the ones calling the shots of what type of taxes the farmers must pay, what type of fruits farmers from this place have to bear in their farms, things like that, you know. Like, think about it. So who has more power into the future we're about to step into? Who has more power when it comes to food security? Who has more power when it comes to when it comes to abantu ukuthi bafahlake go to jail, who has more power when it comes to that? Because that Ministry of Correctional Services is in the hands of what's these guys? Yeah, these guys of VF Plus. So when you wanna mix all of this and combine the VF Plus powers and the DA's powers and put them aside as one and let them be in a collaboration. If you say something they don't like online, the DA cyber what security can call you out, they can arrest you, and they can dictate how long you go to jail. The correctional services, they are in charge of the jails. If you're a farmer in Limpopo, the agriculture ministry, when climate change gets to be implemented and gets to be a big disaster, a disaster that is coming, pandemics that are coming, climate change pandemics, things people are not thinking about because they're not futuristic and they don't know the World Economic Forum's 2030 plan. If you still don't know that, you are living in the dark, my friend. But just to spark your mind, think about things like this. But I'll unpack this proper, giving context. I just don't want this video to be long. Thank you very much.